Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Hannah. I'm an incoming dental student and I'm going to share with you 6 things I wish I knew as a pre-dent. For some context, I am a first-gen dental student, meaning that no one in my family is a dentist, dental hygienist, dental assistant, anything. So it was really on me to find help or to do things myself and then kind of learn from trial and error. Because I learned a lot, I wanted to share with you guys, and hopefully it makes your journey a little easier. I'm filming in my car because this is the struggle of living at home and not having your own space. But let's get into the video. The first thing I wish I knew as a pre-dent was to plan ahead and apply early. Applying early really does help your chances of getting an interview and getting into dental school. I applied twice to dental school, first time in 2020 to 2021 cycle and the second time in the 2021 to 2022 cycle. And in the first cycle that I applied, I didn't hear anything except for rejections. I applied in September, so that was pretty late in the cycle, and I think by that time most of the interviews had already gone out or like the slots were filling up. So even though like I may have been a good applicant, they couldn't give me a spot because they already had applicants that submitted early and filled in their interview slots. So second time, I planned a little earlier. I retook the DAT. I also rewrote my personal statement and made sure I had enough time to submit it early. So the second time, I submitted in July, mid-July, and I got my first interview in October. I got my acceptance on December 1st. Applying early does really help your chances. If you think about it, when you submit in June and July, there are probably only a few hundred applications sent in, versus if you apply in September like I did the first time, there's probably like thousands of applications that they have to go through before they get through yours, and by that time they've already filled in some interview slots or most of their interview slots. So this is the schedule I use in terms of planning ahead, and I know I need more time in terms of writing because I'm not very good at it, so I gave myself about 3 to 4 months. So if you feel like you don't need as much time, definitely shorten that time and lengthen whatever time you need. The second thing I wish I knew were supplements. Some schools actually have you submit the supplementary application with the primary application that you have on ADSES. Some schools will send you the supplemental prompt after you've submitted. So the schools that do want you to submit it with the primary app, they'll have it in their question section for their program. Some schools actually post it on their website. So I know UCSF actually posts it on their website, and that's how I found it ahead of time. In terms of supplemental applications that you receive after you submit your primary, I would suggest trying to finish it within 2 to 3 weeks. Your application isn't really complete until you submit that supplemental application. I've noticed that most supplemental applications are about the same throughout most schools. It's like, why do you want to go to that school? Or like, they'll have you answer a question and it's around the same kind of idea or concept. So you can kind of pull from other schools' supplemental applications to help you create a new supplemental application for another school. The third thing I wish I knew was to take physics class. So why does this matter? The DAT doesn't actually have physics. You only need physics if your major requires it, and it is a prerequisite for dental schools. So in taking bio, chem, OChem first, that'll help you prepare for the DAT, and then you take physics in your last year of college because you're just finishing that prerequisite for dental school. So you should take advantage of your college courses because you are paying for it. So how I would have done it was take my bio, chem, OChem classes in my freshman, sophomore, junior year, then take the DAT using like a supplemental thing like DAT Booster or DAT Bootcamp to boost my score, and then take my physics my last year. And then that way I can apply right after my senior year. But I didn't do that, clearly. I took physics my sophomore year, and that actually did kind of hurt my DAT because I didn't take my bio classes until junior and senior year. So I had to learn all the bio concepts for the DAT myself. So since you're paying for college, take advantage of your college courses. The fourth thing I wish I knew was to focus on academics first. And this sounds like a no-brainer. Like, of course, you should focus on academics because you want to get a good GPA. But I definitely spread myself too thin when I was applying or when I was in pre-dent. I focused too much on too many extracurriculars and was kind of like overlooking my academics. So I ended up failing in OChem class, and I graduated with a 3.1 GPA. Not a bad GPA, but it's not competitive when applying to dental school. If I could redo it again, I would focus on academics first because it's really hard to come back from a low GPA. Like, no matter how many classes you take, and whatnot, it is really hard to come back from a low GPA once it's already down there. I did a postbac, and the postbac was great. I enjoyed it so much, but I had to spend more money than some of my peers who went straight into dental school. If you want to do a postbac, I would highly recommend it, but you are spending more money. I would have done undergrad differently in terms of I would focus on academics during the school year. During the summers, I would start to take on extracurriculars, and if I felt like, like I could take on more, then I would take on more. I know this is really hard to wrap your head around and to do because you see everyone else doing things, but over the summer there is enough time for you to get dental shadowing hours, volunteering hours. I would have done it that way, but this is of course what I think. The fifth thing I wish I knew was to look up every school's prereq. I looked up schools' prereqs, but I didn't look up every school, so I did miss some of the prereqs that some schools required. For example, OHSU, they require 3 quarters or 2 semesters of anatomy and physio with lab for the quarter or semester. I went to a quarter school, so I only had 1 quarter of anatomy with lab and then 1 quarter of physio without lab. So I was missing a quarter of either physio or anatomy, and I couldn't apply to OHSU. So make sure you do check. Most schools' prereqs are the same, and when you keep looking them up, it looks the same. But there are some schools with different prereqs, so make sure you check that. The last thing I wish I knew was to not compare myself to others and just to be myself. And this is way easier said than done. When you hear someone talk about their GPA and how many hours they have in dental shadowing, or like you see someone post it online, it's really hard to not compare yourself and to think that you're not a competitive enough applicant. I'm telling you right now, I had a 3.1 GPA and I still got into dental school. If you think about it, everyone has kind of the same thing on their application in terms of shadowing or research or volunteering. So what really sets you apart from other applicants is really just being who you are, and you can show yourself through the personal statement. So that is where you want to shine. That's where you want to highlight how you are as a person, your characteristics, your values, and share how that resonates with why you want to be a dentist. And admissions committees will get to know you as a person, and they can really connect with you and see why you fit in with their school. So make sure in your personal statement you're being yourself, and throughout your application process, don't compare yourself to others because it doesn't help you. You are your own competition, so focus on yourself and you will get in. I hope these 6 things were helpful to you guys. I know it's not an easy journey, especially when you're doing it alone or feel like you don't have any help. Definitely reach out to me if you need advice, need help. I'm here to help. Yeah, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.